In this video, I'll be taking a look at the Nintendo 2DS. This is the cheapest one out of the 3DS family. This will run you $130, and it does come in two different colors. It comes in blue and it comes in red. Those are the only two choices you can get this system in. Now, it will play DS games and 3DS games. If any of you actually think that it plays different games, it actually doesn't. A lot of people were actually confused about that, but it doesn't have its own games. It does play 3DS and 2DS games. Now, is this a good system to get over the 3DS or even the 3DS XL? I say most certainly it is a good system, but I wouldn't say it's better than the other systems by no means. But if you're a person that just wants to get into some 3DS and play some 3DS games or even some DS games for a cheap, low cost, this is definitely an alternative to the other two systems because it's less cheaper. Now, basically, this system plays the same games and it has the same internal specs as the 3DS and 3DS XL, so there's nothing brand new. The main difference is it has no hinge and it can't play games in the 3D. So you are cutting some stuff back by paying $130, but definitely not anything in terms of the gaming experience. You still are getting the same gaming experience you would get on a 3D and 3DS. Now here's what it looks like. Both screens are exposed. They're not protected like the 3DS or 3DS XL. And all the buttons on the actual 2DS are laid out a little bit differently than the other systems, but it does again have the same button inputs. The main difference is that the circle pad and the A, B, X, and Y buttons are flush with the top screen, unlike the 3DS and 3DS XL where they're flush with the bottom screen. Now, in my time with the 3DS, if you've never played a 3DS, it does actually take some time getting used to the buttons, most of the buttons being flush with the top screen. But once you get used to it, it's pretty much a normal feeling. It just takes maybe 1 to 2 days when you first get it to actually play with it, and it feels a little bit weird. But other than that, it's pretty much playing 3DS games like you expect. There's nothing really different. You just gotta really get used to it. Now, the screens on this are actually the same size as the original 3DS, and I am positive the battery life is also the same as the original 3DS. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you all the buttons on the actual 3DS itself. So you got your standard button layout, you got your circle pad, you got your D-pad, you got your A, B, X, and Y buttons, you got your start, select, you got your on-off button. You do got one speaker on here. Now in my test, I do actually find it a little bit louder than the 3DS XL. That may just be me, but you can test them out if you want to test them out. But in my experience, I did find that this is actually a little bit louder than the 3DS XL. I don't actually know why, but it is. And then you got your home button right here, and your two screens, of course, and then you do got a camera right on top. Now, another thing they did do with this system, since it doesn't have a hinge and you can't put it in the standby by opening and closing it, they did put a button right here that puts it in standby. This puts it in standby and it turns it off in standby. I currently have it on standby. As you can see, if it's orange, it's in standby. But there it is. Then you do also got a loop for a lanyard on both sides. You can put your own lanyard, and it does got a 3.5mm headphone jack. This thing kind of does look like or feel like a portable tablet, pretty much, with two screens on it. And then going to the back of the system, you do got two 3D cameras. Now, I don't know why Nintendo put two 3D cameras on here, because you really can't see the pictures in 3D. But maybe they were gonna actually, the reason for that maybe is because maybe if you actually have a person with a 3DS, you can just put your pictures in the 3DS and actually see the pictures. Then you do have a strip on the back that's the same color as the system, and it says Nintendo. Now, depending on which color you get, you don't get the system in the full color. You get a two-tone, you get black, and you do get the blue. Same thing would be for the red one. You would get black and red. As you can see, the front of the system is a matte black color, and then on the sides is actually the blue on the sides of the system. And then you do also got your volume switch right there to turn up the volume and turn down the volume. Then here's where your SD card would actually go, right here in the box. They do include a 4 gig, which is very, very nice. At least you can put something on the SD card. Then also here you do got your stylus right here. Here's what the stylus look like. It is on the right side, which is very convenient. Moving to the top of the system, you got your L and R buttons. Now these L and R buttons are a little bit bigger than the actual 3DS and 3DS XL, and they are really clicky. I don't know if you can hear that on camera. Then moving to the top, you got your game card where you put your 3DS and DS games right there. Then you do got your charger. Now the charging port on this system is the same as the DSi's, so any of the DSi's chargers will work on this system. Just the regular DS and the DS Lite's charger will not fit on here, but any of the DSi's, the DSi and the DSi's XL chargers will fit in here, which is very nice. If you already own one of those systems, you don't really have to. You'll have another charger for this basically, which is very good. Now before I head out out of here, I am going to show you some gameplay of the actual system if you're wondering how it actually plays the games. And if you want to see more gameplay of this, I do have a video on my channel showing you some games played on this. So if you want to see more games played on this, definitely check the description or check my channel. There's a video posted up on there. So anyway, I'm going to show you some gameplay. I'll just show you Mario Kart 7. Anyway, that's the review of the Nintendo 2DS. Peace out. I'll see you guys later in my next video. I'm out.